What if I told you this entire video was created without constantly switching between AI tools? The topic research, the script, the storyboard, the visuals, even the video generation. It all came from a single AI agent. Normally, creating a video like this means bouncing between ChatGPT, Perplexity, Midjourney, Runway, CapCut, and a handful of other tools. It works, but it also turns one project into a messy workflow. So I wanted to see if one platform could actually handle the entire process from start to finish. Today, I'm putting Loopa AI to the test to find out if it can really replace my current AI workflow, or if it's just another AI tool making big promises. Let's find out.
If you're ready to make AI your superpower, welcome. Every video gives you new tools, new tricks, and simple shortcuts to level up your workflow instantly. No fluff, no geek talk, just practical power you can use today.
One of the biggest changes we've seen over the past year is how AI has transformed content creation. Instead of spending hours researching ideas, writing scripts, generating visuals, and editing videos manually, AI can now speed up almost every part of the process. The problem is that most of us still rely on a collection of different tools. One AI helps with research, another writes the script, another generates images, another creates videos, and then everything has to be brought together in a separate editor. Even though AI makes things faster, the workflow itself is still fragmented. That's exactly why Loopa caught my attention. Instead of being another chatbot or another AI image generator, Loopa is designed as a personal AI agent. The idea is simple. Give it a goal, and instead of helping with just one step, it can plan the entire workflow and execute it from start to finish. So for this video, I decided to give it a real challenge. Rather than testing random features one by one, I'm going to use Loopa the same way I'd use it for an actual YouTube project. We'll start with finding a video idea, turn that into a complete script, generate the creative assets, build the video, and see just how much of the production process can happen inside a single workspace. If it can actually handle most of that without forcing me to jump between different tools, it could seriously simplify the way I create content. So let's start from the very beginning and see what happens. Every successful YouTube video starts with the same question. What should I make next? Coming up with ideas isn't usually the hard part. The real challenge is finding topics that people are actually searching for before they become saturated. So instead of spending time browsing YouTube, checking Google Trends, and comparing different keyword tools, I asked Loopa to research trending topics in the AI space and recommend ideas with strong potential. Within a few moments, it started analyzing current trends, organizing the information, and presenting several video concepts, complete with explanations for why each one could perform well. What I like is that it doesn't just generate a random list of titles, it gives you actual reasoning behind each suggestion, making it much easier to decide which direction to take. After reviewing the recommendations, I picked one idea and asked Loopa to take it a step further. Instead of simply generating a rough outline, I wanted a complete YouTube script that felt structured, engaging, and easy to follow. It organized the content into a clear flow, starting with a strong hook, building through the main points, and ending with a natural conclusion. Rather than giving me disconnected paragraphs, it created something that already felt like the foundation of a finished video. Of course, I'd still make my own edits and add my personal style, but having that first draft ready saves a huge amount of time. Instead of staring at a blank page wondering where to begin, I can focus on refining the content instead of creating everything from scratch. And once the script was ready, it was time to move on to the part that usually requires several different AI tools, turning those ideas into visuals. With the script finished, the next step is bringing everything to life visually. This is usually where my workflow starts to get complicated. I'd open one tool for images, another for video generation, maybe another for editing, and before long, I'd have multiple browser tabs open just to create a few scenes. This time, I wanted to see how much of that process Loopa could handle on its own. I asked it to create a storyboard based on the script, breaking each section into individual scenes with visual descriptions that match the narration. Instead of just telling me what each shot should look like, it mapped out the flow of the entire video, making it much easier to visualize the final result. From there, I started generating the creative assets. Since Loopa integrates different AI models, I wasn't limited to a single generation engine. Depending on the scene, I could choose the model that best fit the style I was going for, whether I wanted realistic visuals, cinematic shots, or more stylized content. For video generation, Loopa also includes models like Seedance 2.5, so instead of exporting prompts to another platform, I could generate clips directly as part of the same workflow. That keeps everything organized and makes the creative process feel much more connected. Another thing I appreciated is that I wasn't constantly copying and pasting prompts between different websites. The ideas, the script, the storyboard, and the generated visuals all stayed connected, so it felt less like managing separate tools and more like working on a single project from beginning to end. As the assets came together, I could already see how much time this approach saves. Instead of spending energy keeping track of files, prompts, and browser tabs, I could focus on improving the content itself. But creating content is only part of the story. What really makes Loopa different isn't just that it can generate images or videos. It's the way the AI agent actually works behind the scenes, and that's probably the feature that impressed me the most. Up to this point, everything you've seen has been about creating content faster, but honestly, there are plenty of AI tools that can help with writing, image generation, or even video creation. What makes Loopa stand out is the way it approaches the entire workflow. Instead of acting like a chatbot that waits for your next prompt, Loopa is built around the idea of a personal AI agent. You give it a goal, and it works through the steps needed to accomplish that goal, rather than treating every request as a completely separate conversation. Another feature I found interesting is that your agent runs on its own cloud computer. That means longer or more complex tasks don't depend on keeping your browser open the entire time. You can let the agent continue working in the background while you focus on something else, then come back later to check the results. I also like that you can personalize your agent instead of starting from scratch every time. You can customize its role and behavior so it becomes better suited to the kind of work you do most often. Whether you're creating YouTube videos, researching information, or working on business projects, that consistency can make future tasks much more efficient. Another advantage is the flexibility of the models available inside the platform. Different AI models have different strengths, so instead of being locked into one option, you can choose the one that best matches the task you're working on. That gives you more control over the final results without constantly moving between different services. Loopa is also designed with multi-agent workflows in mind. Rather than relying on one assistant to do everything in sequence, it supports having multiple agents working on different parts of a project, helping speed up larger workflows as the platform continues to expand those capabilities. After spending time with it, I don't see Loopa as a replacement for creativity. You still decide what kind of content you want to make, refine the ideas, and add your own personality. What it really helps with is reducing the repetitive work that usually slows the creative process down, so you can spend more time focusing on the parts that actually make your content. After using Loopa throughout this project, I think the biggest benefit isn't that it has another AI model or another content generation feature. It's that it brings so much of the workflow into one place. Instead of spending your time managing different tools, moving files around, and rewriting prompts for every platform, you can stay focused on the project itself. Of course, no AI tool is going to replace your creativity or your own judgment. You'll still want to review the output, make edits, and add your own style. That's what makes your content unique. But if you're looking for a way to speed up the repetitive parts of content creation, whether that's researching ideas, drafting scripts, building storyboards, generating visuals, or organizing everything into a more efficient workflow, Loopa is definitely worth exploring. I also like that you can try it without making a big commitment. The platform includes daily free credits, so you can test its capabilities and see whether it fits your own workflow before deciding if it's something you'll use regularly. Overall, I came away impressed. Not because Loopa tries to do one thing better than every other AI tool, but because it brings so many pieces of the creative process together in a way that feels organized and practical. If you'd like to try it for yourself, you'll find the official Loopa link in the description below, where you can claim the daily free credits and start experimenting with your own AI agent. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more AI tools and workflow videos, and let me know in the comments, what's the first project you'd build with an AI agent like this? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.